Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome friends to another broadcast. I hope and pray that this video reaches all in the best of conditions, inshallah. Once you see something, I'm sure you'll agree, it's hard to unsee it. Once you see something, it is hard to unsee it. Most of us in our lives have seen something we wish we did not see. Once that picture is there, you can't take it out. When it comes to social media platforms, you see a lot of stuff. And we as Muslims, we enjoy using social media. Most of us enjoy using it so that we can reach others with the beauty of our faith, to help others to learn about Allah and Islam. And alhamdulillah that social media has allowed many to do that, because we can reach folks on a grander scale than we would in our one corner of the earth. So that is a benefit of social media, because we can reach more people and share this faith with them. But many Muslims use the social media platform for their own interest. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with, sharing your private information. If that's your thing that you want to do, then that's your business. But we have to be very careful what we are sharing online, because it really is a free-for-all, because anybody can see. And even if you lock your account, people can still find ways. And once you post something, it's there forever. Even if you erase it and you get rid of it, it's still there. People have ways of holding your information. So you have to be very careful. Now, while some of us use the platform in a positive way, there are some who use it in a way to bring down others. I can't begin to tell you how many times I see posts of spouses sharing information about the other spouse, and it's wrong. An example, there's a sister, she just gets divorced, and now she's online posting all her business about divorce and what she's going through and what she's dealing with, and her husband is this and her husband is that and her husband blah 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 blah. It's nobody's business to know this. This information should be kept private, especially if you have children with that person. You go online and you start talking that person down. This stays there forever. And your children, they may be little, but they're going to grow up. What makes you think they're not going to come across this information? Everything that you've posted, your children will see it. Every negative thing you said about their father, they will see it. And also with mothers. If there's a man out there that gets divorced with a woman and he's doing that same thing, it's wrong. There's just information that does not belong out there. This person you were married to, you saw something in that person that made you say yes. And I'm sure you enjoyed good times with that person. Albeit that difficult times came and you couldn't stay married. But just like it takes two people to bring a marriage together, it takes two people to break a marriage. The problem is most people don't see that. They don't see that. And it's not for us to go degrading the other person. because we want to make ourselves look like the angel, the innocent one. Because that's mostly why people go online and start talking about their spouse. Because they want to look like the victim, the innocent one. And maybe your spouse was the most worst, horrible person in the world. But it still doesn't give you a right to go online and say the things that you say. It's wrong. Haram. This should be kept between you and Allah, not to be shared with everybody. And let me tell you, all the people that are reading it, they're enjoying it. They enjoy it very much. Because most of these people don't want to see anyone happy. They love misery. You ever hear that expression, misery loves company? So they're not going online making dua for you that everything goes well for you. No, they're going online to be entertained. So you have to be very careful what you're putting out there. You know, we have a responsibility with our tongues. We shouldn't be trashing our spouses. Again, no matter what they have done. No matter what they have done. All these sisters going online, oh, he's a terrible father, he's a terrible provider, he's a terrible this, he's a terrible that. Or husbands that are divorced going online, she's a terrible mother, she's a terrible this, she's a terrible that. Haram, it's wrong. You don't have the right to go there and saying those things. Yes, you can talk about it, but with your close family members. Somebody that you can trust within your inner circle, but these are things you don't put online. Because again, once you see these things, people, they see it, they don't forget it. And again, if you have children, your children are going to get older and your children are going to see this. So may Allah guide us that when we are dealing with issues in our relationships, and if those relationships should diminish, that we bridle our tongues and our fingers, because when we're online, it's our fingers that are doing all the tick, 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 typing everything in. Nobody needs to know your personal business. Nobody. This is again something that is between you and Allah and your inner circle, the people that you can talk with face to face. If you've got a vent, go ahead and vent. But don't do it online. Don't do it online, because you're not doing yourself any favors. And it really makes you look bad. Makes you look bad. The person that carries themselves with dignity and decency doesn't have to be advertising all of this stuff online. They don't. Because it makes people look at you like you're seeking attention. Oh, woe is me. Poor little me. No. Nobody is looking at it like that. They're actually enjoying. They're enjoying it. Because maybe they got the same issues going on in their life, and it makes them happy to see that somebody else is going through the same thing. So do not diminish your spouses online. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not going to benefit you, and it's not going to benefit your children. And it's going to stay there forever. Use the internet for something positive. You know, sadly, the more we progress as humans, the worse we get as humans. We can't control ourselves. We can't. It used to be a time when people knew what honor was and decency was and integrity was. Even though they were suffering and they were hurting and they were crying enormous tears. But they stood firm and they stood tall. And they put their trust in God. Knowing that whatever hardship, whatever difficulty they were going through, that God was going to get them through it. Okay, so your relationship didn't work out. Maybe he was a jerk or she was a jerk. Whatever. You don't have to go online diminishing and demeaning that person. Let Allah deal with them. Let Allah deal with them. Remember, judgment day is going to befall on all of us. None of us can escape judgment day. And we're all going to have to answer to Allah. So let your spouse, Allah is going to deal with them. You don't have to go online telling all your business to everybody, hurting yourself and hurting your children. It's not right. You know, there was a brother who said, I believe in a lecture a while back, that the greatest test that we will face is this dunya, this world. But no. I mean, he's right in a sense, but no. The greatest test that we will face in this life is the people around us. The people around us. And how we handle that and how we deal with that says a lot about us. Whether we are strong, we have strong faith, trust in Allah. Because it's not easy dealing with some people. I understand that. I've been around enough of narcissists and enough of nasty pieces of work. At work, I mean, you don't want to know. So I understand it's difficult. The people around us, they will try to press our buttons and get us to blow up like a time bomb. But we have to keep ourselves in check. Don't let people get to you. And don't use your tongue to berate them and belittle them. Again, leave it in Allah's hands. Let Allah deal with them. And He will. As I said, Judgment Day, we're all going to see it. We're all going to stand before Allah. We have to answer for everything. You don't want to stand before Allah, and when Allah questions you about your Facebook, why did you put all this and all this about your wife or about your husband? Why did you put this about the parent of your children? Why you did that? You hurt your children. Why you do that by putting that there? Trying to get sympathy from people. And Allah's going to say, all you had to do is come to me, and I would have comforted you and helped you. So don't go putting everything out there. Don't do it. And sisters, when you get divorced, something happens to a lot of them. They take off their hijab, they start wearing a lot of makeup, they start showing themselves online. What is this? What's the matter? And it makes one think, well, maybe she got divorced because she didn't want her husband telling her what to do. Didn't want her husband telling her to wear hijab. You know, it makes one wonder, because you see it all the time. I know I do. They get divorced, they're single now, and hey, hello, look at me, look at me. The hair everywhere, makeup. What happened to the hijab? It's like, you got divorced, but you didn't get divorced from Allah. It's just all strange to me, wallahi, it's all strange to me. Very strange. But then there's that saying, you can't take a medicine to a people who don't want a cure. Inshallah, may Allah make it easy for all of us, and may we use the social media platforms in a way that pleases Allah and helps us to keep integrity. And may we be examples for all out there, but mostly may we be the best examples for our children, and not do things that could hurt our children in the future. Until we meet again, dear brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.